Hey everyone, it's Veronica Reed checking in here for a Diary of a New Idol. So this video will talk about week one in my new idol role. So week one was pretty good. It's always usually a slower week. So I've worked in corporate pretty much my whole career, and I can say that every week one is very kind of slow because they just want to make sure everything is set up and you got all the access, you're meeting everybody. Unfortunately, like I said in my day one video, I still don't have access to the authoring tool. So we're going to try to see if we can escalate that through IT to see what's going on. They have just been so behind. And by me being remote, it's a lot harder to really kind of put a fire under them because you're not there. You're not able to actually go physically hunt somebody down and see if they can, push a button. So really secretly hoping that by kind of the beginning of next week, I'll start being able to get some access. So the tools that they use are Articulate 360 for pretty much most of their activities. They do have some courses that were created in Lectora and Captivate a while ago, but I think eventually they want to kind of translate that over. So Articulated 360 is their tool of choice. They mostly use Storyline. However, they are starting to build some courses out in Rise, which I'm very excited about because I like working with Rise, so that'll be really cool to do. I have been kind of going through some of the items on our shared drive that I can go through. So they have some templates already in place in regards to how they want our job aids to look, how they want certain aesthetics, the brand guides, the fonts that they use. So I've been accessing those things. Unfortunately, I can't access the Storyline templates yet because I don't have Storyline access quite yet. So I am ready to get that access so I can really kind of dive in. So this week I was assigned to go to their customer service new hire training just to get a better idea of kind of the company and how they've been doing some of their virtual instructor-led training. So it's a very eye-opening experience. Definitely kudos to all of those people that are doing virtual training. It is a lot of work, especially coming, trying to teach people remotely. So I've been doing that. Also had access to our the university that they use or the LMS. So I've been able to do some courses through there, your traditional assigned courses, your compliance courses that you have to take every year, some of the sexual harassment trainings. So I've been working through those to be able to do that. And I also had some meetings. I got a chance to meet with the broader learning and development team. They have a weekly huddle, so I was a part of that. So I got a chance to meet some people virtually. And on Friday, I was able to be a part of they have a team, they call it kind of the digital learning team. And so I got a chance to meet some of the training managers from some of the lines of business, and I connected with them to see kind of what projects they're working on. And so it's pretty much a weekly meeting where our team discusses with the training team what our projects they want us to work on, and kind of the progress of those projects and kind of next steps. So that was a very good informative meeting to be a part of. I was able to see, what the team is working on, what they plan on working on next week, and in the future. So that's been really good. So overall, it was a great first week. I will connect again with my manager on Monday. So hopefully we can kind of discuss the workaround for me not having this access. I can really get in and help because I'm ready to go, of course, and kind of get in there and get started. But overall, a very good first week, a very good way to kind of ease into the role. So hopefully when we do our 1 month checkup, I'll have a lot more exciting things to discuss.
So week one was honestly really frustrating. It was a lot of onboarding, which I knew was going to happen. But what frustrated me was that I was being onboarded as an instructional designer on the learning and development team. And the training was honestly just so awful. It was what we all dread doing and what I would be embarrassed to make. So as I'm taking this training after training, I kept thinking, is this what I'm going to be creating? These kinds of trainings that I have on mute that I'm just clicking through as fast as possible and just trying to get over with. And so as the days went by, I was just really upset with the impending doom of possibly having to do this myself. So Monday, I already told you about, that was my first day. Tuesday, that's all I did all day was computer-based training. Then Wednesday and Thursday was an in-person, well, not an in-person, but an online, video conference training where basically two of the people who are on my learning and development team, another instructional designer and a learning consultant, basically read parts of a manual to me and just talked about stuff that I couldn't even follow what they were doing, but it was all just me sitting and listening to them talk and or reading to me from the manual. So I was about to cry, honestly. I was like, oh my gosh, was this a mistake? Am I going to be happy here? I was so nervous and just not, I don't know how to describe it, but I just didn't feel good about those 2 days. So Wednesday and Thursday were rough. And I kind of started to voice that a little bit to the people who were giving me the training. I was like, I'm not following any of this. I'm not great at learning things just by listening to them. And so what frustrated me even more was then her response was, well, we can go a little slower and then you can read this over after I'm done talking about it. And it was so hard to hold my tongue because I was just like, you talking slower is not going to help me, and me reading it over after you read it to me is not going to help me, because I don't know why I need to know this information. And that's what was really tough. So the long and the short of it is that I'm working for an insurance company, and they were basically reading to me about all these policy things that I don't know what I'm going to be doing with that information. So I didn't know what should I be trying really hard to remember. And not only that, a lot of the things she was like, well, you don't need to remember all of this. And it's like, then why are we going over this? So really, first week was so frustrating. Then Friday came. And Friday, I knew that she was going to be presenting me with my new projects. So I was very excited to see, okay, am I going to be creating the same things that I just went through and making other people miserable? Or do I get to do what I've been so excited to do and make training fun, make learning fun? So she presented me with my assignments, and I got 3 assignments right off the bat, 3 projects, and 2 of them are on the same program, and they are very basic trainings. They're really easy. And one of them is, she basically said that I could be as creative as I wanted with that one. So on Friday, I started to look that stuff over, and it kind of got me feeling a little bit better about what I'm going to be doing, but I'm still not sure how creative I'm going to get to be. So I'm gonna push the envelope a teeny bit on the one that is due first and see what they think. I'm really nervous because I've never seen, besides the training I went through, and I don't know if they created that or if somebody else created that, but I don't know if they're expecting it to look just like that. It was basically, all the same stuff where you click and there's just like a 3-minute slide that you listen to, or like a couple of animations, but some of them didn't even make sense or they weren't designed well. That's what I went through. So I was like, is this what they expect? Basically turning a PowerPoint into an e-learning? Or are they going to be letting me just be myself and put my stamp on things? So that's what I'm going to try on these first projects, is kind of input some stuff in there and see what they think. They asked me what the timeline was, and that was really nerve-wracking for me, of like, I haven't even looked at these yet, so I don't know. So I asked her what her opinion was. What did she think the timeline should be. And so first I asked her, how long do you want this training to be? And she said no more than a half hour. So honestly, I quickly Googled, because I knew there were going to be 2 half-hour trainings. So I quickly Googled, how long does it take to develop an hour-long training? And it said 197 hours or something like that. So as she's like talking to me, I'm like, okay, on the calculator, how many hours is that? And it came out to be like about 3 weeks or something, or a month. I can't do the math in my head that quick. Of what it came out exactly. But so she was like, can you have it done in 2 weeks? And I was like, on here it says a month. And I was like, well, how about a month? What if we stretch it out to that long? And I'm not saying I'm going to take that long, but I don't want to disappoint you on my first deadline. So can I say a month and hopefully deliver a lot sooner? And she said, oh yeah. And so we'll see. That made me really nervous, like having a deadline, having that first project. And so I didn't know what to do with that part. It kind of caught me off guard, and I was just like, oh my gosh, I didn't think of the fact that when I was presented my projects, I probably needed to know how long it would take me to produce, so many minutes of an e-learning. So that's definitely something that I want to have ready going forward, and pay more attention to. How long is it taking me on average to complete something like this? So next week I just start where I am going into, I just get to develop all week. So I will keep you updated, but a rough first week, but I'm optimistic going into my second week that since I'm going to be actually doing instructional design, that I'm going to be a lot more excited about it.